Top five, top five, top five.
Topical back with another video. I'm Strange Wang, he is Nate, and the name of the channel is Topical. So we try to stay topical. Unfortunately, it doesn't always work in our favor, and movies come out like 80 for Brady. So we have to come up with a top 5 in honor of that movie. So Sally Field's in it. She's amazing. We're doing top 5 Sally Field movies in honor of 80 for Brady.
We couldn't have done like top 5 football movies, something like that.
We could have.
Yeah.
But I was like, I like Sally Field, so I went with this.
Well,
you had a hard time?
Well, when we get to my number 5, we'll talk
Amazing Spider-Man 2, Amazing Spider-Man, my number 4. But it'll tell you how the top 5s work.
He's going to give his 5 and 4. I'll give my 5 and 4, 3-2, 3-2. Then we trade off number 1s. We also have something called the Zemeckis rule, which just means that we both have the same movie on our list, but one person has it 2 spots or higher. We save the conversation for the higher one.
My number 5 is going to be Hopper, Burt Reynolds, and Sally Field. Chemistry out the wazoo. And I'll talk about it more for a movie I like more later on my list. And I'm assuming his list too, because it's such a good movie. Number 4 for me is Forrest Gump.
Zemeckis.
Okay. I was like, And then I thought about the list and your face when I said Sally Field, and I was like, okay, maybe not.
Yeah.
Yeah, pass it to you then. What's your 5 and 4, homie?
So my number 5 is Lincoln.
Never seen it.
Yeah.
That's your boy, Steven Spielberg.
Me neither.
What you talking about, Willis?
But it's my number 5 because I've seen 4 Sally Fields movies, and I heard Lincoln was good. So, Lincoln's my number 5.
There's no way you only seen...
I literally scrolled through all of her IMDb.
You seen Smokey and the Bandit.
Correct. So I did my thing where I generally... Okay. So if we do characters, if they appear in multiple movies, I just count that as one.
Okay.
So I wasn't going to split up the Spider-Man.
Okay.
Smokey and the Bandit 2 is not nearly... It's not a good movie. So, yeah.
That's interesting.
I've seen 4 Sally Field movies, and I heard Lincoln was good, so it's my number 5.
Really?
Because it is a top 5, and it had to have 5
Because I looked through all the Sally Field movies. I don't believe this. Hold on. There's gotta be. You do your thing.
I looked through her IMDb twice. Have not seen Legally Blonde 2.
You've seen Legally Blonde, though.
She's not in Legally Blonde.
I think she is.
She's not. I don't think it's on her IMDb. But even then, she's like not really in it that much.
So he has seen 5. He hates talking animal movies, so he said Homeward Bound. Get your punk ass out of here.
I'm not going to put Homeward Bound on my list. I hate talking animal movies.
And he doesn't remember her in Legally Blonde, so...
Yeah, I saw Legally Blonde.
Great list.
I don't even know if I've seen Legally Blonde all the way through.
Oh.
So, I definitely can't count that.
That's fair.
So, anyways, Lincoln's my number 5 because she's in it, and I heard it's a good movie, and I like Spielberg. My number 4 is Mrs. Doubtfire.
That's my number 3.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. I watched this movie a lot when I was a kid. I have not revisited it as an adult. But my wife was like, I'm surprised your parents weren't like, Robin Williams is cross-dressing. You can't watch that movie. It's not true. My dad thinks that movie's hilarious. And I remember thinking it was pretty funny too. So it's pretty much all I got for it.
Really?
You hit me in a blind spot with this list.
You should have said something.
Well, I didn't think about it. Well, you sent me the list, and then in typical Nate fashion, I didn't make my list until 30 minutes before I got here. And then I was scrolling through her IMDb, and I was like, damn, have not seen that many Sally Field movies.
Clearly. Apparently, I'm a huge Sally Field fan. Apparently, I didn't know. But I like this movie because if she doesn't put on a performance that makes you believe that she doesn't know that's Robin Williams in drag, the film falls apart. It doesn't work.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So because of that, it's a porter role that she filled to perfection.
Yeah.
And obviously, when it is Robin Williams, they have a different relationship.
Sure. Yeah.
So it works out pretty damn well, in my opinion. And the reason why that movie works.
Makes sense.
My number 2 is a movie I think you really should see. My Name is Doris. It's fantastic. is incredible. It's about this older woman. She's working in this office building around all these young people, and they're changing out the business. Example, when people were sitting on balls back in like 2012, and that was really popular. They make her sit in a ball. She doesn't understand it. She's having this like later midlife crisis, and they're like, hey, come out with us for drinks. And she does. And through that, she falls in love with one of her boss, I believe, young guy. And she's not like a full-on cougar, but she's like, she keeps going out with him. She's going to like rave parties with him. And like situations you don't see an older woman in, but you see someone in the 30s or like late 20s in. So from that comparison, it's really funny. It's smart. It has a lot of heart. And obviously, what's going to happen? She likes this guy. She's going to have to confront him sooner or later.
Yeah.
Something. So that tension's always there. And the climax and how, well, I ain't gonna say climax, but the third act and how everything pans out, plot, like, points wise, is very well thought out. It's a very good movie. And one I think you would actually really, really enjoy.
I probably would.
So you need to check it out sooner rather than later.
Nice.
That's my number 2.
Okay. So my number 3 is her as Aunt May in the Spider-Man movies, because I think she's a really nice lady. Sally Field is really good at playing like a nice lady. You know, she's very warm.
In the 3 movies you see.
Yeah, right. Exactly. But sorry, you tripped me up again. Yeah. So I like that she's a little bit younger than the Aunt May in the Tobey Maguire movies. The Marissa Tomei Aunt May is just like a completely different Aunt May, but I really like this one because she's like, there's no hip element to her, kind of like the Aunt May one has. Like, she's still like not elderly, but just very motherly, incredibly kind. Like, I feel more empathy for her than I do either of the other Aunt Mays, in that like, your life is tough. Losing your husband was incredibly difficult. You have no clue what is going on with your nephew that you've adopted. Like, and it doesn't, like, I think that's just, I wish we got more of her. Like, I understand that it's a Spider-Man movie, so, like, why would you put more Aunt May in it? But, like, if there were, like, more deleted scenes with Aunt May, I would absolutely watch, and there might be, I don't know. But, to me, it's just excellent casting and really good use of a Hollywood legend. Oh,
And your number 2 is,
yeah, I just like completely
Zemeckis
forgot how these movies work.
list.
Yeah, so my number 2 is Forrest Gump. She's Gump's mom, and
She's a good fucking mother.
same thing, excellent mother. I like that she plays kind of like she's got like a hardness to her because she has to. His dad's not in the scene. She has to raise this kid who she knows is going to be picked on and made fun of, so she has to have this like resolve and adamance to her to teach her son that like, you don't let the world define you, like you make those decisions. And then like, she just completely supports him through all these like crazy adventures and decisions that he makes, and she just like lets her son be himself and trusts that she has instilled the values that she felt that he needed to learn in him, and he proves that she did. So excellent mom.
Because Mom always said life is like a box of chocolates.
That's true. She
But
said that.
You hit on basically everything I could say.
Yeah.
So I'll just say she carries the look very well. And when she ages, it looks so natural.
Yeah, it really
The makeup
does.
department.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was just like she just has that look or something. But it's like you said for Aunt May, she just looks like a very nurturing person.
Yeah.
And like if you just look at her. But like when she got old, bruh,
Yeah.
did they wait and film this later? Like,
Right. Yeah, they did a great job. And also making her look sick when she's sick,
Yeah.
you know? Like,
and she like was at the premiere looking like a fucking baddie, you know what I'm saying? Like, she just looks good.
yeah.
Bacon and egg sandwich look good.
Do love a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich.
Mighty tasty.
Yeah.
Number 1 is obvious. The first Smokey and the Bandit.
Same.
Burt Reynolds, Sally Field, their chemistry is off the fucking charts. They're so lovable.
Yeah.
You want them. You want him not. You want him to take his hat off. I mean, he only takes his hat off for two things. You want him to take his hat off. You want them to love each other and have a happily ever after, because he is not a lunatic, but he's a fucking stallion. You know, like,
Yeah.
he's a hard person to fucking hold down.
Yeah, he's a little wild.
And
Likes his freedom. Yeah.
she's not a country girl. She came from New York City as a dancer.
Something like that, I think.
Dancer
yeah.
or a singer, something like that. And she has that, like, New York's, not an accent, but she has that sass to her.
Yeah.
And, like, he likes that. And as an audience member, I like that too.
Mm-hmm.
So having those two together in that movie is so simply impeccable.
Yeah, I love that. Like, she has like a little bit of quirkiness to her
Yeah,
in
she
this
does.
movie too.
She's
And
she's a bird.
right, so she's not like it makes sense because we are from the South. I know plenty of Southern dudes who would meet a girl from like New York or New Jersey and just be like completely. They just do not want anything to do with them because they're Yankees, right? And like Bert, he's this Southern guy. He's a cowboy with a different kind of horse.
Well spoken, sir.
And so, in order for him and her to make sense, coming from the different worlds that they come from, they both have to have this like off the beaten path personality about them. And I love her. I love both of their halves of that. But since we're talking about Sally Fields, I love her half of that. That like she is from that. She is kind of from a little bit of class, but she's just still got this like differentness to her, and that makes, and she sells it so well in that movie to the point to where it makes sense that her and Smokey could work. And then he does eventually take his hat off. So
Yeah, he does. This is a movie I love so fucking much.
Yeah.
That, like, if we ever, like, go back to make a top 10 list, it would be close.
really,
Because,
Yeah.
like, Buford T. Justice is, like, such a lovable... Like, you love to hate that guy.
yeah, he's a great foil.
He's
Like,
a walking dunce cap.
yeah, absolutely.
Like, he's a fucking idiot.
yeah,
Burt Reynolds is the epitome of cool in that movie. As I said, the romantic element of it works perfectly. But Big Ingus, Little Ingus, the quotes, like, I love everything about this movie.
yeah.
Like, I just think about it and I smile.
Yeah. You know what I love about this movie? I love that the first time I saw it was in a theater.
It was.
Yeah.
We saw it together and it was a beautiful thing.
Because was it Regal that had
It
a
was
screening?
Regal. They
Yeah.
did the TMC blank anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, it was so good.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was gonna like it too much. I was like, oh.
I didn't either. I was literally, when you were like, let's go do this, I was like, I mean, I
Go see this redneck shit.
didn't expect to like that movie, and then it was just such a blast.
Yeah.
Like, great movie.
Because I would go and see all of them just because this isn't playing in a theater again.
Yeah, right.
Or it will years down the line.
Yeah,
I still have my little list of things I'm trying to still see in the theater.
yeah.
He's at the top. Bro, to hear that music in the theater, dude. Oh my god. I cry. I cry just for the music, just like I did for Pulp Fiction. But Sally Field's not in any of those movies. But we'll do better top fives later. I promise you. But tell us your top 5 Sally Field movies in the comment section below. Scroll back up, hit the like button, share the video, and subscribe.